Okay, hello. So here I'm just going to go through some of the vocabulary that we had about pictures. And to go through it, let me just grab a picture from online. There, it's a cat. Perfect, this will be a good one to use for this. Alright, so immediately when we click on a picture, this new tab opens up on the ribbon for Picture Tools, Formatting. Now, in SAM, it might look a little bit different than this, but you should still have corrections, artistic effects, and the styles and the picture effects. So you'll see some of that at work. So let's go and begin. One of the first things that we should look at are the picture styles. Now, these are changes mostly to the border, to the rotation, to the shape. So if we look at them, for instance, here's one that adds this black frame border to our picture. So as you can see, nothing else about the picture gets changed except for the border, the surrounding of the picture. We could also change the shape of it. Here's an oval shape. And notice that we can have different types of borders on our ovals. We also might change our rotation, so the picture's a little sideways, and you'll notice you can use this for different ways. You're able to get a different effect, a different sort of style here by changing, well, the picture styles. Another kind of change we might make are called the corrections. The corrections do things like change the brightness and contrast and sharpen and soften the picture. We'll start with the brightness and contrast. Going from left to right is how you change the brightness. So if right now it's at normal brightness, normal contrast, okay? No changes. If I were to lower the brightness, watch how this picture gets a little darker, and then a little more darker. Or I could go the other way, adding brightness. Maybe not adding as much brightness. For this picture, I would leave it alone, but you would kind of decide what you think would look best. Now we can also change around the contrast. The contrast is a little tougher to describe, but basically it's the difference between its darker colors and its lighter colors. So starting from normal again, which is the center version, I could lower the contrast, and you'll see the colors aren't as different. They're all a little grayed. It's kind of like it's darker, but it's not the same thing as just making it darker. We're making the colors less different from one another. We're making it more gray. Now, if we were to increase the contrast, it's suddenly going to get a lot more distinguished. This is a lot more striking of a change. Again, you might use this, you might not, depending on the picture. Maybe you'd want to do both changes. You can do them together, and you can decide if you think that looks better, then, well, something like that. So those are the corrections. You can change brightness and contrast, and then the other thing you can change, sorry, I need to skip this, would be the sharpen and soften. You can soften the picture, making it blurrier. You'll see that take effect in a moment. There you are. So notice, it's all out of focus now. The picture's a lot blurrier. It's not as clear as when it was normal. Like it is now. We can also try and make it sharper, and you'll notice that the change it makes, it has to kind of assume what the picture will look like if it were sharper. Now notice, you'll see the biggest changes right around there. Right around the cat's face. Watch as that gets sharpened. There you go. See that difference? So that's softening and sharpening. Those parts and the brightness and contrast are the things you can change under corrections. Let's see, I want to go ahead and then also grab the artistic effects. So this part's pretty cool. When it's normal, it just, we just see this picture of this kitten here. But what if we decided we wanted it to look like it was done almost like a painting, but black and white painting? Or maybe with charcoal or chalk. So you see how it changes the whole picture to make it look like it was a different style. We could do something more with all these little squares, making us think of maybe some kind of old computer photo. We can make it all more almost like there's water over the lens of the camera with this next one. Water or glass. I've always thought of water, but yeah, it's like you took the picture through a glass door, right? Doesn't block the picture of the kitten, but it distorts it. You could also take a look at this one down here. Probably one of the stranger looking artistic effects. But actually, I kind of like that one. So yeah, these are just some of the ways that you can change a picture. You have your styles, you have your artistic effects, you have your corrections. You could also make changes to color. I think you kind of understand what would be meant by color. And then the picture effects, I think, are also kind of straightforward. They're mostly for just throwing some effects in there, just based on how they're described here. Yeah, so that's just some of the vocab for this week.